Hello everyone and welcome to our live coverage of Starlink Group 6-93 mission launching from the Space Coast, that is from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. We hope you all are doing fine and excited about the upcoming SpaceX Starlink launch. And if it's your first time here joining us, hi, my name is Dipta Maitra. I'll be your friend and the host providing commentary for today's mission launch, and you are watching AstroYonder Live.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO. Welcome to space.
We are super excited bringing you the coverage of SpaceX's 481st overall launch and the 53rd Falcon 9 launch of this year. That means SpaceX is on its track to hit their 500th launch and 450th landing this year, with just 19 more to go, which is a huge milestone coming up for them. Also, let us know your prediction for the month when SpaceX will reach its 500th mission launch on the chat or comment section. We'll be glad to know from you. Currently, we are waiting for a liftoff time for Falcon 9 at 9:17 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:17 hours UTC from Florida for a southeasterly launch of SpaceX Starlink mission. The Starlink mission 6-93 will launch 28 version 2 mini optimized Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. Now, before moving on to the mission details, firstly on behalf of Astro and the team and moderators, we express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone for being a part of today's launch. We really appreciate you being here, and a big thanks to our amazing YouTube community for being here today as we provide detailed coverage of space launches, complete with extensive stats and thorough insights. We would love it if you guys can join the chat and let us know from where you are tuning in. Also, feel free to drop any questions, suggestions, or share your thoughts as we move ahead with the stream. We would love to hear from you and get to know more about you. Also, would like to welcome Fairmid, one of our moderator here, joining us. Welcome, Fairmid, and I hope you are doing well. I'm doing well, not so bad, but it's fine. And I did texted you on X. If you get some free time, please do check it out. And also would like to welcome the astronomers. Thanks for subscribing to AstroYonder and welcome to our stream, and hope you will be enjoying the stream, astronomers. Also would like to welcome Ed Osdale for joining us. Oh no, Ed, to referring to Ed, as of now we are not, and we are expecting to add our own camera feed for the Florida's pads, but it is only possible with your support for the channel, and in that way we can do so. Hopefully we will be doing so, and your kindness is expected. Now also, just a reminder, it's just me only managing the launch coverages on my own, so if by chance we face any technical hiccups or issues, kindly bear with me and hang tight. I will do my best to guide you through the upcoming Falcon 9 rocket launch happening in approximately 36 minutes from now. Now let's get into the mission details. According to the 45th Weather Squadron officials, there's a 85% chances of favorable weather conditions at the time of the launch, with just 15% launch weather constant violations related to cumulus cloud and anvil cloud rules with some isolated showers possible. The forecast calls for a temperature of 26 degrees Celsius, 0.54 inches of light rain with 19% cloud cover and a wind speed of 13 miles per hour. Already SpaceX once adjusted their liftoff time, so let's keep our fingers crossed and hope the launch proceeds on time. But if for some reason launch does not happen today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow, that is on Wednesday, May 7th, with launch window opening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now let's take a look at the payload details for Starlink Group 6-93 mission. This launch marks the 35th dedicated Starlink launch for this year. The payload for today's mission, built in Redmond, Washington, includes 28 of the newer optimized Starlink version 2 mini satellites. Now just a reminder, today's payload does not consist of any direct-to-cell satellites. Each satellite is equipped with 5 advanced Ku band phased array antennas, 3 dual band parabolic antennas utilizing Ka and E band, and a 52.5 square meter dual solar array with a wingspan of 100 feet. Each of these satellites comes packed with tech, 5 advanced Ku band phased array antennas, and as I said, 3 dual band parabolic antennas, and also with 2 solar arrays which are aero neutral, which enable faster on-orbit maneuvers, plus they got high capacity batteries on board to provide power to the payloads. Now each Starlink satellite features 3 space laser transponders, also known as optical intersatellite links, in short ISL, for communicating with each other at speeds up to 200 Gbps. Usage of ISLs are now industry standard, and its usage is quite prevalent in the satellite development. For maneuvering in space, this satellite use Hall effect thrusters powered by argon, which was previously based on krypton, and the switch was basically due to the cost effectiveness of argon compared to the krypton. Today's payload will be deployed in an orbit with an altitude of approximately 274 kilometers and with an inclination of 53 degrees. But the operational orbit will be an altitude of approximately 559 kilometers with an inclination of 43 degrees. Each optimized version 2 mini weighs approximately 1,268 pounds, which is equivalent to 575 kilograms, which is about 22% lighter than the original version 2 mini design. Now just to give you a frame of reference, the unoptimized version weighs around 1,763 pounds, which is equivalent to 800 kilograms. Starlink satellite uses custom-built star tracker to find their position, altitude, and orientation for optimal broadband throughput. Each one has 4 reaction wheels as well for precise attitude control, which means the orientation control, plus a hot spare setup for their reliability. Their aluminum flywheel is designed to safely burn at the end of their useful life upon re-entry. Additionally, they have an onboard autonomous collision avoidance system that uses US Department of Defense debris tracking database for avoiding collisions with space junk, other spacecraft, and other Starlink satellites as well autonomously. Now, to understand the importance of autonomous collision avoidance system. Here is a quick context. According to a SpaceX report, Starlink satellite performs 275 collision avoidance maneuvers each day. And in that course of past 6 months, when this report got published, uh, to be precise, last year, Starlink satellite performed 50,000 collision avoidance maneuvers. So I hope you can understand the significance of this autonomous collision avoidance system. And it's not only that Starlink is having this technology, every other satellites nowadays being developed are having this autonomous collision avoidance system on board them. Also, would like to welcome Pop Tripika, one of our moderator here, joining us. Welcome, Pop Tripika, and I hope it's your evening time there. I hope you are doing well and everyone at your home are fine as well. So you are going for stargazing tonight. So happy stargazing. And I hope you will be able to see starlings as you are mentioning. And it's obvious nowadays you can have that chances to see many starlings with the reflection coming from the sunlights. Now about the optimization, as today's payload will are optimized once. Let's talk a little bit about the optimization and let's know how SpaceX is leveling up with the number of the satellites launching nowadays. So firstly, the key optimization is a 22% weight reduction, bringing each satellite's launch mass to approximately 575 kilograms compared to the original version 2 Mini's 800 kilograms. So that's a huge reduction. It is only for the one Starlink satellite I'm mentioning, so you can understand what will be the overall mass reduction for a batch of Starlink satellites. Now, the lighter design achieved through upgraded avionics, propulsion, and power systems, which allows more satellites to fit within the Falcon 9's payload capacity. Additional enhancement includes a DuPio dual band antenna for improved bandwidth and mass optimized components tailored for efficient stacking and deployment. All this optimization allows Falcon 9 to carry up to 29 satellites per mission, around 6 more than the original version 2 mini design. Some quick fun facts regarding the Starlink launches. Back in February 25, 2024, SpaceX launched the first batch of 24 Starlink version 2 mini satellites, which were not optimized, but they were the then highest count for version 2 minis. This year, on January 21st, 2025, with Group 11-8, SpaceX launched 27 optimized version 2 mini satellites for the first time, and again on March 31st of this year, with Group 6-80, they launched 28 optimized version 2 minis for the first time. With May 4th, 2025, the recent past Starlink launch with Group, I guess, 6-84, SpaceX broke its own record by launching 29 version 2 mini satellites, surpassing the previous high of 28, and that was the biggest batch yet for the version 2 mini variant. In comparison, the highest for version 1 is 60 satellites, and for version 1.5, it is 56. Now, as of today, SpaceX launched 27 number of satellites batch, a batch of 27 satellites 6 times, a batch of 28 satellites 5 times, and a batch of 29 satellites, Starlink satellites, all are version 2 mini satellites for one time. So that's the stats as of now for this optimized version of the version 2 mini satellites being launched. And replying to Bob Tripika, to our moderator here, and I yes, I guess so, because to my little knowledge, what it comes to me that nowadays this, and also you will be noticing they are launching a huge number of satellite for Group 6. I think that was previously that group was for with version 1.5 satellites, which are now coming to end of their useful life and they have to be getting replaced. So for that they are launching the version 2 mini satellites for that group, and to like commensurate with the number of decaying or deorbiting version 1.5 or version 1 satellites, which belongs to group 6. They have to launch a huge number of satellites, so for that they are launching this optimized one with the increased capacity of the payload. According to my little knowledge, what it comes to me, I just explained that, although I didn't research for this, but it's just a natural instinct and logic. Now, SpaceX, once again, just to remind you, and also let me check whether the liftoff time remaining the same or not. Yes, as of now, it's the same. So, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 9:17 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. Now, let's take a look at the booster history, the flight record, you can say, for the booster supporting today's Starlink 6-93 mission. Booster with tail number 1085 will be supporting today's mission. Today's supporting booster has 6 previous flights in its record, including missions like Crew 9 that marked the 9th operational NASA commercial crew program flight and the 15th orbital flight for Crew Dragon spacecraft, bringing back home the Starliner crew flight test astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore after their extended stay aboard the International Space Station. Next non-Starlink mission supported by today's booster was the GPS Block 3, also known as RRT-1 mission. Next up is the Firefly Blue Ghost Mission 1 for Firefly Aerospace's lunar lander, which did provided us some spectacular views from lunar surface. And lastly, the Fram 2 mission, which marked the first ever crewed mission launched into polar orbit. SpaceX recently, I guess yesterday or day before yesterday, released a 4-hour long footage about the Dragon spacecraft during the mission of the Fram 2, and I hope you guys watched it. And additionally, this booster supported 2 Starlink missions only as of today. The booster's turnaround time is 36 days, now awaiting its 7th flight, approximately 21 minutes from now. The last mission supported by today's booster was the Fram 2 mission from Launch Complex 39A on 31st of March this year. Today is the 3rd flight of this booster with previous two supported non-Starlink missions for this year. Also worth mentioning, this will be the fifth time this booster getting launched from Space Launch Complex 40 and having its third landing on Just Read the Instruction drone ship. Now let's have a look at the bar graph showing number of Falcon 9 launches each year. Before this upcoming launch, SpaceX completed its 52nd Falcon 9 launch for this year with Starlink 6-84 mission launch from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station on May 4th. That launched 29 record number of version 2 mini satellites, the highest for version 2 mini variant as of now, as I mentioned previously. Obscuring the number of annual launches made till year 2021, SpaceX is now having 21 more than the launches made in that year, that is 2021. Now, with today's launch of Starlink 6-93 mission, the bar graph shows 53 number of Falcon 9 launches for 2025. SpaceX is now less than halfway to the number of launches made in year 2022 and 2023, and will be having 8 less number of launches from 2022 and 43 less the launches made in 2023 with today's mission launch. As of now, SpaceX is yet to reach even the half of the launches made last year. Previously, as we know, SpaceX completed 132 launches of Falcon 9, marking a year with the highest annual launches to date for SpaceX just last year. Now, aiming for another record-breaking year with around 172 to 180 Falcon 9 launches just itself, apart from any Falcon Heavy launches, surpassing last year's highest annual launches count. Although it's quite an ambitious target, but I hope they will get around with that number to reach. Now, if this stream fills your love for space, kindly give this stream a like. It's like fine-tuning the trajectory of our YouTube mission to build a community with amazing space enthusiasts like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so that you won't miss a single launch update. Here at AstroYonder, we believe together we will build the ultimate constellation of space enthusiasts. Now, again, for today's mission also, I will be skipping the pre-launch timeline since it's a typical Falcon 9 launch for Starlink with absolutely no deviations. However, there is one point I would like to highlight just for a quick knowledge, which you might be knowing that the strong back reclining process at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center differs from that at Vandenberg. Here at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center, we recline the strong back about 1.5 degrees, whereas at Vandenberg, we recline the strong back about 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9. So that's the only major deviation in the pre-launch timeline for today's launch. So let's quickly go ahead and have a look at the trajectory for today's mission. Falcon 9 leaving the pad from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral with a batch of 28 version 2 mini satellites on board for a southeast trajectory heading into low Earth orbit, that is to the sixth shell of the second generation Starlink mega constellation, which is indicated by that green line on your screen. The red line indicates where Falcon 9 first stage will land after stage separation just a little later leaving Florida's Space Coast. Today's mission is supported by just read the instructions drone ship, one of the two here on the East Coast. This will be the 117th landing on just read the instructions drone ship to date with today's mission. Now, some recovery specifics. The planned booster recovery is approximately 595 kilometers, with estimated fairing recovery approximately 626 kilometers downrange, and the Stage 2 debris re-entry will be in the South Atlantic or Indian Ocean on its second orbit. Now here are some of the stats related to drone ships as of today on your screen right now. We are anticipating the addition of a fourth drone ship as promised by SpaceX earlier, possibly occurring late this year or who knows, early next year, because we are not getting any information regarding that. But it was promised earlier that we will be having a new drone ship by this year. But currently there are three in SpaceX's drone ship fleet. Of the three drone ships, just read the instructions and a shortfall of Gravitas are stationed here in Florida, while of course I Still Love You is stationed in California. Now let's just quickly discuss about the fairing recovery, where SpaceX will utilize a recovery vessel to retrieve the fairing halves from the Atlantic waters. The two halves of the payload fairing will be recovered slightly farther, approximately 31 kilometers downrange from where the first stage lands on just read the instructions drone ship, after they will smoothly splash down with the guidance of parachutes. Right now on your screen you can see how a fairing recovery operation looks like. The recovery vessel on your screen is Doug performing the recovery operations, but today's supporting recovery vessel is Bob here at the East Coast. Other recovery vessels Doug and Go Cosmos here at the East Coast are awaiting their next assignment, while Go Beyond at the West Coast is gearing up for the upcoming Starlink 15-3 mission. Now, previously 15-3 was behind the Starlink Group 6-91 mission, but now they brought it forward. Now the 15-3 will be the next one instead of 6-91 mission. The stream is already posted on our channel, so don't forget to check that out. Now before proceeding, we again have a request for you folks. Consider giving this stream a like as your way boosting us past max Q, passing through maximum dynamic stress of the YouTube algorithm, which helps us to connect with more space enthusiasts like you. And as we are burning our midnight propellant to bring you stream, we expect your support for us. By tapping that subscribe and bell icon, and with that you will never miss an upcoming stream like a perfectly timed launch window. Now we are about 4 to 5 minutes away from the webcast to begin, so let's just quickly gets done with the stats related to today's mission launch. Today's launch marks 481st SpaceX's overall launch and the 36th dedicated Starlink launch of this year. This is going to be the 468th Falcon 9 launch to date, 7th flight of this particular Falcon 9 booster supporting today's mission with tail number 1085, marking a new move again after 36 days. I mean, by that, the booster turnaround time. Now, today's mission marks the 53rd Falcon 9 launch and SpaceX's 55th overall launch of 2025. This will be the 410th Falcon booster reflight to date, the launch of a booster that has flown at least once before. (249th orbital launch for SpaceX launching from Space Launch Complex 40 and 304th overall orbital launch from Pat Slick 40 with today's mission. With the success of today's launch, SpaceX will have a remarkable 8,502 Starlink satellites, including 609 dedicated direct-to-cell satellites launched to date. Now moving on to some reusability statistics. This launch marks 394th Falcon 9 booster reflight to date, 117th landing on Just Read the Instructions droneship, 7th landing of the first stage booster supporting today's mission with tail number 1085. With this mission's first stage landing, SpaceX will be having their 352nd overall droneship landing, 422nd Falcon 9 landing so far, and 441st SpaceX's overall landing to date. Speaking of landing, here are some of the stats related to the drone ships prior to today's launch. These drone ship stats, landing stats are not including today's mission. These are prior to today's launch, and as today's drone ship supporting the mission is Just Read the Instructions, which lastly supported the Starlink Group 6-75 mission, having its 116th successful landing with that mission. Now let's have a look into some key stats for SpaceX launches for this year specifically, including today's mission. With today's mission, SpaceX will be having its 55th launch of this year, and out of those, 36 are Starlink missions, including today's Starlink mission. 17 were non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations, and 2 Starship launches. 50 of these missions using a reuse booster, including today's one. Now, if we look into the geographical distribution, we get SpaceX will be having its 37th launch from East Coast. On the West Coast, they are having 16 launches from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. As of now, 2 launches from Gulf Coast at Starbase in Texas with Starship's 7th and 8th test flights, and 2 Super Heavy booster catches for both of those test flights. Now, I hope you guys are aware of the static fire anomaly of the Starship Ship 35, which happened back on May 1st, 2025, and reports suggest a possible explosion or engine rapid unscheduled disassembly during a subsequent static fire attempt for all the Raptor engines. which can potentially delay the Flight 9, although it's unconfirmed by SpaceX as of today. But the NOTAMs suggest that the launch can be possible between May 19th to 28th with a 2-hour launch windows opening at 23:30 hours UTC for each day. Now coming back to the stats for landing, they will be nailing it for the 51st time this year. Most of the landings are on drone ships with 42 landings. For ground landings, they pulled off 9 of them, and SpaceX is now working on adding a landing pad at Launch Complex 39A and Space Launch Complex 40 in order to retain their return to launch site, also known as RTLS capability, as SpaceX's lease for landing zone 1 and 2 expires in the upcoming month of July. Let me just quickly check if the stream is up or not. Well, it's up. And let me just quickly set up the stream for you guys. I knew they would be messing with the stream today because they gave a wrong time for the stream today. So we are getting the live view of the Falcon 9 awaiting for its liftoff, and we have the audio feed as well. Right now we did got the call out for strong back retract process, which has started now. Now while we are watching this live view, let me just quickly give you some more insights about today's launch with the stats. Today is the 95th orbital launch of this year, and United States is leading with 62 launches, followed by China with 23 launches, Russia with 5 launches, 1 launch each by India, Japan, and Europe with 3 launches. While we are watching this live view of Falcon 9, we did cross a couple of important steps. The spacecraft team switched to internal power a few minutes ago, and fueling of the Falcon 9 first stage is finished, meaning all the RP-1 prop is now on board. We are still loading liquid oxygen on both the first and second stages, and will be getting the callouts for the LOX load completion for the stages, and we did got one of them. Right now we are done with the LOX load completion for the stage 1. We are now waiting for stage 2 that will finish up just inside T-2 minutes mark.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete. So right now on board the Falcon 9, it's 1 million pounds of propellant. We are now beginning to vent down the pressure that was in the tubing, and we did got the call out for the ground gas closeout. Here we bleed the extra pressure off, and this cold gas, when it reacts with the moist humid air, which gives us this nice white cloud, which is an healthy indicator of launch coming up. Next event, T minus 1 minute, we should hear the Falcon 9 flight computers are in startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
There we go, right on time. Flight computers on both the stages are now running the rocket to the last minute of count. Now let's listen to the go call out from launch director.
LD, go for launch.
There we go. SpaceX launch director giving go for the launch. We are coming up on T minus 30 seconds right now approximately. All system continues to remain go for the launch of Falcon 9 and Starlink.
T minus 15 seconds. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Chamber pressure is nominal.
We have a successful liftoff. Falcon 9 has cleared the tower. We did got some call out. Stage 1 chamber pressure is nominal. That's a good call out. 36 seconds into the flight, Falcon 9 on its way with 29 Starlinks into low Earth orbit. Expecting some more good callouts. There we go, we did got them. Power and telemetry are nominal as well. We are right now into the throttle bucket, throttling down the 9 Merlin engines, preparing for the period of maximum dynamic stress coming up.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
So with that, we exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9. Now Falcon 9 is faster than the speed of sound as we have gone supersonic.
Max Q.
There we go, max Q call out. So we are through the period of maximum stress on the vehicle right now. And we have throttled the Merlin engines back up to full power to compensate with the maximum stress right now on the Falcon 9. Next, expecting the call out for MVAC engine chill.
Vehicle is following a nominal trajectory.
Some good call out, nominal trajectory for the Falcon 9. And I hope they did missed out the MVAC engine chill. So where we will be chilling down the MVAC engine on the second stage prior to its ignition just after stage separation. Coming up will be the 3 events in rapid succession. Shutdown of main engine on the first stage, that is main engine cutoff, MECO, followed by stage separation and SES1.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
So we just got the callouts for all back-to-back milestones, and you can see the nitrogen thrusters are reorienting the first stage with the deployment of the hypersonic titanium grid fins.
Separation confirmed.
We did got the call out for a successful fairing separation, and I hope you guys noticed right now until up to right now that with SpaceX is doing some remarkable job with their camera views nowadays. Today they provided an new view of the Falcon 9 liftoff during the launch. Also the view from the first stage when after getting stage separation, we did got a new look from there as well today. And meanwhile, we did got a call out for nominal trajectories of both the stages. As of now, the launch has been excellent. The first stage will right now continue under the force of gravity and steering with the help of grid fins to descend back to its landing site, that is on the drone ship. Just read the instructions stationed in the Atlantic Ocean. Second stage, meanwhile, with its full capacity in middle of its 6-minute burn, is on its way into the parking orbit with a batch of 28 Starlink satellites payload on board. And here we go. We have the stats for the apogee for the first stage, which will rise up to that point as our moderator mentioned, apogee of 114 kilometers.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
The first stage will rise towards this apogee and before descending back towards the landing site on a drone ship. We did got another good call out for nominal trajectory for both the stages, first and second stage. We are not getting those awesome views like a daytime launch as it's a nighttime launch today, but yeah, still we are getting views of the second stage MVAC engine and some views are coming up right now on the first stage. Stage 1 FTS being saved, it means the re-entry burn has been initiated. Now this entry burn, with this we just lit 3 of the 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. We are slowing down the first stage rapidly. You can see on the bottom left side of your screen from the telemetry, and this burn should last just around 26 seconds and it's done. Stage 1 entry burn shutdown, there's the confirmation.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
Once again, we did got an healthy call out for both the stages containing nominal trajectories. Stage 2 FTS has been saved, which means the orbital insertion burn for the second stage is complete. Next, we are expecting the call out for stage 1 being transonic.
Stage 1 transonic.
We did got the call out stage 1 being transonic. I don't know whether some of their call outs are so less audible with low volume. I don't know for why, but right now we are stage 1 is transonic means the stage 1 is now traveling slower than the speed of sound as it heads towards the landing. Speaking of landing, we are less than 60 seconds away from that, and right now we are having the landing burn with the center E9 engine now lit. We are slowing down the vehicle more rapidly. Should be seeing those landing legs getting deployed. There we go, landing legs deployed.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there we have a confirmation of a successful 422nd landing of an orbital class Falcon 9 rocket. Coming up next, we will have the second engine cutoff, that is SECO 1, completing its around 6 minutes of burn. And following that event, the second stage will enter into about 46 minutes of coast phase as the vehicle ascends to its target orbit. Unfortunately, today some of the callouts were less audible, and for that we apologize. It's not from our end. Couldn't help anything in that, but we tried our best to synchronize and let you know the milestones at the right time. So these were the call outs we were waiting for: second stage engine cutoff as well as a confirmation of good nominal orbit. Today's launch marks SpaceX's 481st successful mission, with the landing marking their 441st success. With that, we will wrap up our coverage for now, but most importantly, we want to thank all of you for tuning into our live launch coverage wherever you are watching from. Also would like to thank our moderators joining us today, Fairmaid and Pop Topeka. And I hope you guys will be having a nice day ahead, Fairmaid, and to Pop Topeka, have a happy stargazing. Hope you can see a trail of Starlink satellites up there in the sky. Also would like to say thanks to the astronomers who recently joined us, and I hope Ed is also there, so thanks Ed for joining us as well. So be sure to check out our social media handle on X for the latest happenings in the space industry and updates on upcoming launches. Guess the link is provided in the chat section. Once again, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone. We really can't do this broadcast without your support, and we are grateful for your continued encouragement for whatever we do here at AstroYonder. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We really appreciate everyone joining us for today's launch. Wishing you a nice week ahead. Once again, thanks for watching. This is AstroYonder Live and me, Dipta, signing off for now, and we will see you next time.